I'm Manouk Akopyan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our partners, personal injury attorney Nelson Gervonta. Hi, everyone. I am joined by IBF number one contender Richardson Hitchens, who's getting ready to fight Liam Paro December 7 in Puerto Rico. Richardson, this is the opportunity you've been waiting for to become a world champion. It's now one fight away at the age of 27, but you're facing a very, very competitive fighter in Liam Paro, who just beat Subriel Matias, who was considered the boogeyman of the division. Coming into this fight, what is your mindset going up against Paro, who's probably scored the upset of the year, and his confidence is on cloud nine right now?
Boxing is not about confidence. Boxing is not all about boxing. Is not like confidence. Is not like boxing. Him beating a guy that wasn't the boogeyman is not boxing. The skills is what boxing is about. He beat a guy that had limited skills. He beat a guy that was a limited fighter, a guy that had no special effects, a flat-footed fighter, a guy that makes a living on being able to absorb and take punches and wear guys down from just throwing a lot of punches or just touching and wearing you down. Whole different type of guy, whole different type of fighter, whole different type of pedigree. I'm not a guy that's talking from I'm not a guy that's just talking from building my career up from an upset win or a guy that built my career up from careful matchmaking. I have a lot of pedigree when it comes to boxing, from the amateurs to professional careers. I've been in there with experienced guys as a professional, experienced guys as an amateur. I know the sport of boxing, and Liam Paro is not on my level.
It sounds like you're not impressed by what he brings to the table.
Not impressed by him. Not impressed by him, and not impressed by Matias. People try to say, "Oh, I wasn't raising my hand to fight Matias, or I was ducking Matias." I never got a contract to fight Matias. I fought my way to a world championship. I didn't get an offer from Eddie Hearn the last 3 weeks of the fight to fight Regis Prograis. I didn't get a pushed up. I didn't get a call to just go fight for the world title. I earned my way to the world title. I fought my way through the IBF. I fought for the mandatory spot, and I earned a world title shot. It wasn't so. I'm not impressed by none of nothing about what Paro did or him beating Matias. Me and Matias is on two different levels when it comes to the sport of boxing. It's two different type of guys. Matias is a guy that made a living off big balls and being durable. I made a living off being a pure boxer, a technical boxer. So it's different.
You said Liam was a one-trick fighter. What's that one trick you just have to negate? What are you trying to eliminate from this fight?
I'm gonna ask you a question since you asking me a question. I'm asking 4 questions from boxing fundamentals from guys that walk in the gym. Liam Paro jab, is it effective? No. Liam Paro hook, is it effective? No. We never seen Liam Paro knock somebody out with a hook. His left hand, is it effective? Yes. That's the shot he knocked Montana out. That's the shot he knocked Brock Jarvis out. So that's what I mean by run trick pony. When it comes to offense, when it comes to his offense game, I don't really see versatility. I don't see him slipping, hitting guys with uppercut. I don't see sharp, accurate body shots. I don't see good uppercuts like Tank Davis. I don't see the fast straight left like Tank Davis. I don't see the quick hook. Like, I don't see those. I see a guy that have a powerful backhand. So that's what I mean by a one-trick pony. So I guess that shot is the shot that I have to take away.
Yeah. Well, we've seen one-trick ponies look good in other fights. I know you saw it with Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney. Certainly those were under different circumstances, but it appears that you're very aware of what you have to negate, and that should be the game plan moving forward. We talked about confidence a few moments ago. How would you assess your confidence after the Gustavo Lemos fight? Because a lot of people have opinions on that fight. how you looked, who won. We've seen Lemos now fight Keyshawn Davis. How would you assess your performance in that fight?
I feel like my performance was ass as hell. That was an ass performance. I felt like it was a terrible performance because, like I said before, I lost 6 pounds the day before the fight. I never done that in none of my professional careers to make the IBF regulations and rules. Um, but other than that, I felt like for a guy that I worked extremely hard in camp, but my camp wasn't that long for my last fight. Um, I overlooked Gustavo Lemos. I like after being as a pain, I'm like, this guy is a bum. I'm gonna walk through him. I think that's why my camp wasn't that long. But for a guy that was drained, wasn't the same me, I fought a guy that was coming off 12 straight knockouts, a guy that fought somebody that was 29-0, super hungry, super in shape. I showed like a guy that bring a fast pace, a rugged pace, a nonstop aggressive pressure fighter. I don't even think I've seen too many styles like Gustavo Lemos in my sport, in the sport of boxing. Like you'll see the pit bulls, but Pitbull ain't coming with the volume that Gustavo Lemos is coming with. Pitbull's, but Gustavo Lemos, his height, him being 5'5", him being undefeated, and me being drained the way I was, and a lot of people don't know I had a hand injury for the Gustavo Lemos fight. If you really watch the fight, I beat him with one hand though, for majority of the fight. I think that that alone just showed the type of level I'm on when it comes to boxing. You watch Keyshawn make easy work of Lemos, but Keyshawn also gave he also put out the truth. He said, I don't believe that was the richest, like Richardson. Like, I don't believe that was Africa. Like, he beat a half-ass Africa. So, I mean, he didn't say he beat a half-ass Africa. He had problems. He said Gustavo Lemos had problems with a half-ass Africa. And that wasn't that wasn't fully me. I knew how I felt. And my confidence is people gonna say what they want to say, but I know like it is what it is. Like, it's boxing.
Absolutely. It's just unfortunate because everyone goes back to the most recent performance. They look at what Lemos did against you and what he didn't do against Davis, and obviously they're comparing that against each other. But make no mistake about it, you're sitting pretty now, one win away from becoming a champion at 140 pounds and really becoming a shot caller in what is probably boxing's most open division, because anyone could win or lose on any given night, considering the creme de la creme of the division have been fighting each other early and often recently. You
Right.
have the leading man to win Manager of the Year in Keith Conley in your corner. What is Keith promising you in 2025 should you get this title?
Really, we're not even thinking past Liam Parrow. We're not thinking past Liam Parrow. We know once we secure the world title and we get Liam Parrow out the way, it's just time to. I think that it like just to see me match up with all the other high level boxers in the division. You know, the guys like Puello, Rayo, just a lot. It's a lot of high level boxers at 140. I think that I'm a part of that echelon. There's a lot of guys, the pit bulls, the we see champions come and go from Rollies to Pitbull to now Rayo. So the belts been shifting and moving from Matias having the belt to now Parrow, from Parrow having the belt to now Hitchens about to have a belt. You know, the belts is bouncing. I think that I'm gonna be one of the champions to have the belt for as long as I want and unify. That's my plan. So we're not talking about my plan. I want to bring a world championship back home to New York City, if not Masquerade Garden, if not even better yet, Barclays Center. But that's my plan, to bring a homecoming fight back to New York City as the world champion.
You think you could? You think you're ready for that in 2025? We saw the big fight at Barclays this year was Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. I'm pretty sure you would welcome a Devin Haney fight at the Barclays Center.
I just was talking about that. I just was saying that me and Devin Haney at the Barclays Center. I think it would be pay-per-view. I think it would be a big event. I think you got a brash Brooklyn guy with real skills, with real pedigree, and you got another young accomplished guy with the resume, and he has a father, he has the image, he has everything. I think that fight will be a big fight. And me and Devin have history, so I think that would be a huge fight. But we can't talk about anything else right now. A lot of fighters have plans to fight other fighters. Me and Paro got to get in there, and it's my job to ruin any of his plans that him, Eddie, Matchroom, any of them got planned. I don't know about what they talking about. Him and George Kambosos fighting. That shit is over with.
Let's talk about that history with Haney real quick. Obviously, you coming up with Mayweather Promotions, him being based in Las Vegas. You guys crossed paths many times back in the day, but you've had some choice words for Haney. You've called him soft. You've called him a fraud. You've called him a weight bully. Is there some deep
I ain't
animosity?
call him a weight bully.
Is there? That's what I saw in one of the pieces, but I will retract that statement if you said you didn't say it.
I probably did though. I don't know. I thought that.
All right then. But why do you feel that certain type of way against Haney?
Nah, Haney's talented. Like I feel like Haney can fight. Like he's talented. He's good. I just feel like he did the right thing with his career. He did everything he had to do, and I just always felt like he was getting credit for the boxer that he's really not. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always felt like. I think that they was bigging him up to be this accomplished, young, great American fighter when he really wasn't fighting nobody. He fought. I think that the minute he took a chance to step up in greatness, it was a calculated chance, you know, and that was when he fought Lomachenko. But the calculated chance was that it was his last weight. It was his last fight at 135. He was the way bigger man, and Lomachenko was the way smaller man. So I think that he took that fight with and the other calculated risk was that Lomachenko also showed a lot of vulnerabilities leading up to him and Devin Haney fight. So I think that him and his team was like, okay, like there's a big money fight. This guy's way smaller. He's showing weaknesses, and I'm way bigger than him. But I just felt like they wasn't giving like guys. If guys like me had that opportunity, or guys like Shakur had that opportunity to fight guys like George Kambosos to get undisputed and fight all 4 belts, it would be a whole different story. They'll be saying the same thing, but the only difference is guys like me, guys like Shakur are better boxers than Devin Haney. I just feel like Devin Haney is a good boxer, but he's not the fighter that a lot of the boxing world was making him out to be. He never fought. He didn't really fight nobody. Everything he fought was careful matchmaking. A lot of fighters in professional boxing is really not that good. So if you really want to be honest, the fighters in professional boxing really be limited. So I just think Devin used his athleticism and his skills to maneuver through guys like the George Kambosos and the Regis Prograis. But when he fought a guy like Ryan Garcia that wasn't so fundamentally all around, but had a lot of experience in professional boxing and amateur pedigree, and he had that youth and talent that Devin got, it showed that, you know, Devin had weaknesses and holes, and he wasn't the fighter that he really said he was. When you put Tank and Ryan Garcia in the ring, you kind of could tell Tank was on a different level. You put Shakur in the ring with a guy like Ryan Garcia, I feel like you would see Shakur is on a different level, but I feel like Devin is a good boxer, but I just don't feel like he's the boxer that the people is hyping him up to be. Like, oh, like, and when people tell me that I have no chance against Devin Haney or shit like that, it would be to me like, bro, he's not who I even think he is. But like when it comes to boxing, it's show business. So people's gonna have opinion every day. People don't even know 90% of people that watch boxing don't even know what they're watching, to be honest. And that's what it is.
You talk about show business. Definitely, you and Haney would be a great promotion. I think that one will be one soundbite after another as you guys build up that fight. And you were talking about sparring and Tank Davis earlier. You of course have sparred against Tank Davis. You've sparred against Lamont Roach. They're supposed to be fighting in a fight that now appears to be moving to March 1st in what could be the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. What do you see in Tank that just separates him from the pack?
What separates Tank from the pack? Tank is, when it comes to the sport of boxing, he has everything. He has everything. He has the awareness to know he's a smart fighter. He's not going out there to take one to give one. He's using his IQ. He's using his craft. He's using his speed. He has speed. He has every punch in the book. He can knock you out with a hook. He can knock you out with an uppercut. He can knock you out with a left hand. He has speed, reaction time. He has the pedigree, the experience. It's everything Tank has in a boxing book. That's what makes him on a different level. Only thing that Tank Davis don't have in the boxing book is height and long arms. So I think that's what separates him from the pack. I think that he's just on a different level when it comes to a guy with a pair of gloves on. He's a tremendous fighter, and that's it. Super accurate. I mean, it's boxing is simple. I mean, like I said, a lot of these guys are limited guys. You know, a guy might be you might have a guy like Lomachenko that's like super good, angles, feet, everything, but they're not that fast or not that athletic or, not that powerful. But you got a guy like Tank is like, only thing with Tank is that I guess he's not that active and he's not that tall. His arms are not that long. But when it comes to everything else, he has everything in the book, so it's simple. I think that's what separates him from a lot of guys. When you look at a guy like Lamont Roach, I think that he's fundamentally good all around, but he's just everything with Tank is just on a different level. It's just a little bit more, It's like the guy that been throwing a jab for like 6 months is good, and the guy that been throwing a jab for 3-4 years is kind of like that guy is just different. I think Tank is just on a whole different level from like a guy like Lamont Roach, but I do think one thing that will help Lamont in his fight with Tank is that they're familiar, and Lamont been boxing for a long time, so I mean, he should know his ways to maneuver around the ring, but I just think that Tank is just too much.
With Tank, you've sparred against him. Well, where would you rate his power as far as all the guys you fought with or sparred with?
I don't think Tank is super powerful. He is super powerful. Like even when he's hitting the pads or he's throwing like punches on the bag, boom, and he's opening up, you could tell like it's generational power. His power is, but it's not really. That's not really what like scares. Like you go right now, you can have more power than Tank, and you go hit the bag right now. I don't know. You might have some skills I never seen, but I'm just saying, like you go hit the bag right now, you could punch the bag and hit it with the same force as Tank. I wouldn't be scared from that. It's Tank like technique and accuracy and speed. Like it's like a bullet. It's like the power plus the speed and accuracy. That's what makes it so dangerous. So I don't really like when I'm sparring Tank. It's not like I'm in there really feeling too much power, but it's really not no. It's really like I don't want to miss my jab and get countered with an uppercut because it's not too much of the power of the uppercut, but it's the speed and the accuracy I know is going to come with. So I think that's really like what it is with Tank. He's like a fucking crackhead or some shit, and a fucking athlete on steroids. Facts.
With and with Tank, you guys both came up with Mayweather Promotions. Now neither of you are with Mayweather. It doesn't seem like a lot of fighters are with Mayweather outside of Carmel Moten. Why do you think that's the case? Where it just doesn't work out for some of the up and coming guys who signed with Floyd?
I really don't know. I mean, Mayweather Promotions, they did what they had to do with me. I think that if I would have still with Mayweather Promotions, I would have got opportunities, but I would never got the structure or the activity that I'm getting with Eddie Hearn. Um, and I can't really complain about Mayweather Promotions too much. Only thing I was really complaining about was like the structure. Really, there was really no contracts. I really didn't know how much I would be getting paid for the next fight, or I really didn't know when will I fight too much. I think with Eddie, I knew like when will be my next fight more, how many times I fight in a year, how much I should be getting paid for each fight. So I think that that's really what it was. But I think for a fighter that is coming up and they don't really have too much opportunities, because a lot of promoters really didn't believe in me coming up. Like, no Top Rank wasn't killing to sign me. They was trying to sign guys like I forgot what guys I think I don't know if I forgot what guys were signed with Top Rank coming out with me out the amateurs, but they were trying to sign like a lot of different guys coming out the amateurs with me. But Go. I didn't really speak to Golden Boy, but Top Rank, I went to sign with them. They didn't really want me. So Mayweather Promotions was one of them guys that gave me an opportunity, and I can't really complain. You know, they got me the experience I need as a professional, got me the fights I needed, and it is what it is.
Right. And I think when you turned pro in 2017, that was right around the time Top Rank signed Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. So is that something on the back of your mind, like perhaps the fact that you were overlooked or did not get the deal that you were looking for? Do you still kind of hold that grudge and are like using that as a source of motivation for a fight against
Uh,
Teofimo
uh,
or Shakur one of
I,
these days?
I always use not like for them, but I always use that as a grudge against the game. Period. Because you know what killed me when I was Mayweather Promotions, right? I just fought a guy that was like 12 and fucking 11 or some shit. I forgot. Like literally right before I got with Eddie Hearn, the guy that I fought was like it was
Angel
off TV.
Rodriguez, 2022.
Yeah, it's 2022, and I'm looking on TV and I'm seeing a guy like Montana. This guy's Eddie's built him like a superstar, and I'm like, what? Like I'm way better than this guy. Like he's getting a main event. Like I'm off TV fighting for 25,000. This guy's fucking fighting for maybe upwards of 300,000, over a quarter million. And I'm like, I'm on a whole different level than Montana. So I think that in the back of my head, I always knew if I had a promoter that was going to give me the opportunities that the Skill Females was getting, and the Shakur was getting with the Joette Gonzalez and all these guys, I think that I would have been already a champion. I already been established in my career, just like how I'm getting the opportunities now. But I had to go with a promoter that was going to give me the opportunities and give me the structure, which was Eddie Hearn. To be honest with you, it really didn't take me that long to even get this opportunity being signed with Eddie Hearn. I felt like I just got with Eddie Hearn not too long ago. You know, it went from Yomer Alamo, Bowser 3 months later. Then all I remember is fighting Jose Zepeda. I really feel like after the Jose Zepeda fight, I should have been lined up for a world title, but we did the mandatory fight, and then now we had a world title. I would have been a world champion a long time ago, but like I said, 9 times out of 10, people don't know what they're watching. I just wasn't getting the opportunities that Teofimo or the Shakurs was getting, or these guys was getting, and that happens a lot of boxing. You have guys with talent, but just don't have the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the same story as a guy like a Boots Ennis. I think if Boots Ennis would have got the opportunities back then, he would have been a champion a long time ago. But he's now getting opportunities to prove himself, and it happens. Another guy like that in my book is Charles Conwell.
Yeah, 154 pounder. Bad news, Charles.
I think that he was the guy that if he didn't have business problems as far as in the ring and he had the opportunities, he would be one of them guys that's talked about as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guy at 154. But I'm glad I'm just with a promoter that's giving me the opportunities. All I need is an opportunity in fair shake. That's exactly why I went with Eddie Hearn to call for the Montana fight and try to get an opportunity. So it is what it is.
Sounds like you're trying to make up for lost time now. You're
That's
still
all it been from the day when I signed with Eddie Hearn. Make up for lost time. That's all me and Keith talk about. We're behind the 8 ball from the TOs and the Shakurs, and we're just trying to catch up.
well, you got one of the top managers in Keith, one of the top promoters in Eddie. It sounds like all you got to do is hold up to your end of the bargain in the ring, and there's going to be some big fights for you in 2025, big opportunities. Before I let you go, Richardson, if there's only one fight that you could have in 2025, who is it against?
Teofimo or Ryo. I think that'll be those will be 2 big fights in New York City. I think those are two big fights in New York City. Eddie got plans with Liam Parrow and George Camboza. I don't even think them guys even sell like that in their country. Where did Lomachenko and kid George Camboza fight at?
That was in Australia as well.
Did it do big numbers?
It not as big as the Haney fight, but it was I think I believe another stadium fight.
But that was probably because of Lomachenko.
Well, it was in Australia. Cambosis is Australian, so.
But is Camboza fighting in Australia and doing numbers by itself, like when he fights in Australia?
It's usually against the opponent
The
who,
bigger names, the
yeah,
Lomachenko's and the Devin Haney's.
exactly.
So both of them ain't nobody, and they need to give me the belt so I could become a somebody, and they could come over here and fight me if they want to get some money. But Liam Powell and George Kambosos, y'all will not be seeing that in 2025 for the IBF World Championship unless I vacate.
And this fight's important. And this fight's in Puerto Rico. How do we end up there?
I was supposed to fight Jose Pedraza in Puerto Rico. I was gonna get that easy check, but now they called me right before the fight. I was supposed to sign a contract with Pedraza, and it was like, because this was the plan. Liam Powell didn't want to fight me. They were trying to make the George Kambosos and Liam Powell fight, but they couldn't get the venue or something. Like they couldn't get the fight in with them in Australia. Eddie already had a venue in Puerto Rico, where it's like I guess it was cheap to throw the fight in Puerto Rico, like something with the venue issues, and yeah, Liam Powell trying to fight somebody else. He wasn't trying to fight Kambosos. After him and Kambosos couldn't be made, he was trying to fight somebody else. And Keith said, "No, fuck that. We want more money because we're the mandatory." And they was like, "No, no, no." Then Keith was like, "All right, well, Liam Powell gonna have to pay out his purse if he want me to step aside." And I guess they didn't want to do that. So Liam Powell didn't call upon his mandatory that he's talking. I'm the mandatory challenge. It was nobody else he could fight. He wasn't gonna get a Devin Haney fight. And he wasn't getting the George Kambosos fight. And whatever other fight he was looking for are the champions, he wasn't getting no bigger money fight. So him and his manager, they were stuck. They had to come fight me. That's it. They had to make the decision to fight me or vacate. That's it. Now he's here, and it's cool. I hope he enjoyed his 5 minutes of fame.
So your final prediction, Richardson, before you go.
Final prediction: another Hitchens boxing fight, masterclass performance. You know how I say these boys are not on my level, especially that guy.